So fam, I am feeling so elated and so uplifted after listening to that unique channeling. As with all things, I believe that it happens when it aligns, and alignment for me is like divine time. It's beyond even the word divine time itself. It's just a label that I give to that feeling, that intuitive knowing that yes, now, do it now. And so when I created that channeling, I didn't realize that a couple of days later I would need to listen to that. Actually, maybe it was like a week or two ago. I can't even remember. But these days, I'm like, literally, time is an illusion. I'm living outside of that realm now, so I have no idea what day it is even. But yeah, so when I made that channeling, I had no idea that there was going to be a time where I would be sitting here needing to listen to that to uplift my spirit, because it's been a tough couple of days, and it's been a lot of healing this week for me, fam. A lot of healing. I spend a lot of time on my own internal work, and I believe that that's just the path that I've chosen, where it's not always difficult, it's not always hard, it's not always like healing isn't always an uphill battle. Sometimes it's really downstream to heal and to allow yourself to chill and to co-create. That's part of healing. Creating is healing. Speaking is healing. Me delivering these messages is a form of healing for me. It's a form of me allowing myself to be vulnerable, which is exactly what this channeling is all about. And I've been receiving this message today and over the last few days about being vulnerable, allowing yourself to speak, allowing yourself to just be in that moment, really embrace it and really enjoy it, and not have to make it hard all the time. It doesn't have to be difficult all the time. You can ask your guides, you can ask your higher self, you can literally tap into your own spirit and your own soul and pay yourself the respect of, bringing your palms together in the middle of your heart space, and just say to yourself, please, divine guidance, give me the healing through fun and enjoyable modalities, through things that uplift my spirit, through things that make me feel good. And today was a tough one for me. I woke up in the wrong vibration, so I woke up out of the vortex, basically, and I stayed on that vibrational wavelength because I instinctively knew that I needed to let that out. I needed to feel through that. I needed to go through those emotions, to get through those emotions, to have that experience and get to the other side. And I allowed myself to have that moment, and I allowed myself to go through those healings. And I'm continuing to allow myself to go through that right now by just being vulnerable and sharing this with you guys. And so today has really been a game changer, because when I listened to that unique channeling, it spoke to me, it spoke to my heart, it really spoke to me, and it was like me speaking through me, my spirit speaking to me through me. And that is literally what happens. It's a video I made at the start of this year about talking to yourself and really having that conversation and connecting more to your intuition and your higher self. But again, it's like having the experience yourself. Going through things on an experiential level is so much more potent than, someone speaking it at you or someone teaching you. So really just take anything that I say as guidance. It's simply just guidance to help you on your journey, and I share bits of my story in it because that's my personal truth. That's me speaking my truth, and that's me healing and giving those healing light codes out to other people as well that are ready to up level and that are ready to step onto the next stage of their journey, step onto the next platform. They're ready to be initiated. And so a lot of my messages hold those light codes, and if you resonate with it, you'll be receiving the healing as you're listening. Coming back to the point, it's about vulnerability. It's about being vulnerable. It's about putting yourself out there. It's about letting yourself just release and being who you are in every single moment, no matter what that looks like on the surface or to the outside world. It's about allowing yourself to just drop into that space and really take a deep breath in, exhale, release, breathing in the fresh air, being out in nature, allowing the sun vibration to hit your body and to just rejuvenate you, revitalize you, stepping into the grass, walking in the grass, grounding your feet, grounding next to a tree, doing all these beautiful things that we have free access to, the natural resources that we have so much access to every single day. that is just there for us, and all we need to do is to just get up and go. All we need to do is allow ourselves to be vulnerable enough to say, you know what, today is going to be a day, an act of self-service, and therefore it is becoming an act of service to the oneness of all things just by me serving myself. When I serve myself, this is literally me serving myself. When I go out to nature, when I just spend time on my own, when I allow myself to have my solo journey and to introspect and go inwards, that is literally me self-serving and filling my cup. And as I fill the cup, those are the messages, it allows me to open up to receiving. When I sit and I do healing, or I sit and I do a whole lot of nothing, just listening, just being, a bee literally came and sat on my window today, and it was just chilling for ages, and I was just chatting to the bee. The second that I got ready to do this channeling, the bee flew off, and that's when I knew, it did its job, its message was delivered, and what I needed to learn, I learned through that process. And so being vulnerable, allowing the oneness of all things to come to you in that way, to tap into things that are outside of yourself, to really remove that barrier of separation and allow the animal kingdom in, allow the nature and the trees in, allow the air in a way where you haven't previously let it in before, where we just kind of breathe in and out and we just take it for granted, but we don't realize that these trees that we burn and we cut and that get destroyed every single day, they are the ones providing us with that oxygen. So being vulnerable with life, being vulnerable with yourself and your presence and your soul in a way where you're able to really allow the oneness of all things to present itself and to show itself to you, and to show itself in all of its divinity to you. It's beautiful, fam. The clouds, the sun, the birds, there you go, see? Divine messengers right there. We must embrace. This has been coming through a lot for the past few weeks for me with the animal kingdom. We must embrace them as our own. We must embrace them as our own, fam, because the only reason that animals would attack us ever is if they feel afraid of us. And the only time they will feel afraid of us because they are purely instinctual. They are more instinctual than we are. We are very shut off from our senses, but animals primarily rely on their senses to survive. So when they feel that energy of fear radiating from within us, that's the only time they would attack us. It's the same thing as when a mother fears that her child is going to get, abducted or something, she will go into attack mode. So it's the same thing for animals. It's purely instinctual. And if we can understand that when we drop into a space of love, and really breathe in that green light into our heart space and emanate that out into the world, then those light frequencies help animals to feel safe, like more safe around us and more at ease when they're in our presence, because they don't feel like they have to run, they don't feel like they have to fight or flight, you know what I mean? And so yeah, this is amazing. This is like really a beautiful moment for me because it's testing my own vulnerability, and I'm going through this healing in this very moment. And I think it's such a beautiful thing how the oneness of all things just always seems to find a way to show itself in my messages, both physically and from a higher perspective. For now, I feel like that message has been delivered, and I feel like I learned what I needed to learn from that message as well. And I also feel like the other people that were present in that scenario learned what they needed to learn through that message. So take care, stay blessed, stay high vibing. I love you all. I'm sending you blessings and love for your journey, and I will speak to you guys soon.